specialist, careers mentor, YouTuber, speaker, and an upcoming developer. He has around 12 plus of years of experience in software development and did a postgraduate degree in cloud computing with distinction. Along with Praveen, we are joined by Head of Department of AI and IoT, Mrs. Upas Pandey, Faculty Coordinator, Mrs. Khushbu Saxena, and other faculty members with us and our dear friends. In this session, Praveen will be enlightening us with some knowledge on latest career trends in information technology. So let us hear straight from him. So Praveen, how did you land up here?
Okay, cool. I was expecting that question after the introduction, but by the way, before that, my name is Praveen Kumar Purushothaman. It's not Purushottam. Again, you made the mistake, man. I told you that. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India, currently living and working in London for one of the top US-based investment banking firms, and I'm specializing on full-stack JavaScript development, and React and Node.js are my specialties. So I'm answering your question, Ayush, great one. So what I did is I started with my, as usual, engineering for 4 years, and then I did not score much. I just got around like 70% in a tier 3 engineering college, or however you call it as. It's like there is no brand even, so you don't even know what engineering college it is, and it is affiliated to Anna University. And once I did that, I was working with TCS for about 3 years, and I had my learning curve like this. So it started very quickly. I learned a lot of things in the first 6 months, and after that 2.5 years, I did not learn anything new. So that's how it started. And then due to my personal losses, I lost very close relation of mine, and after that I was completely confused what to do. So I did not have a chance to go outside India anytime. So what I did was, after 3 years of work, I quit TCS, and then I went to University of Leicester in United Kingdom to pursue my master's in cloud computing. So if you ask me why UK, why this particular University of Leicester, it is because of 2 reasons. Number one, I did not need any kind of English language certification or any kind of an entrance examinations to be added. And that was one of the main motivating factors. And comparatively, I don't know, for some reason I hated the US because of the way they have projected I'm from Chennai, so all the Tamil movies projected the US in a way that I hated. So maybe because of that cultural stuff. So I did not want to go into the US. And previously there was one person who was ruling the US. I don't want to mention his name. And because of that reason as well, I didn't want to go to there. And with that being said, comparatively, when I study in US or UK, the fees was less in the UK, and also I just need to study only 1 year. And comparatively, the currency rate, so US is 75 rupees per dollar, UK is 101 rupees per pound. So I chose, if I start earning in pounds, that would be more better than earning in dollars. So I chose UK. There are so many different reasons. And after coming to the UK, I came to know that UK has got a lot of workplace laws and other things. So they state that obviously the people should be given respect, and so many things, you should be respected for what you are. There are so many equality and other things. So these are many reasons I thought of studying in the UK. So once I started studying here in the UK, everything was totally new. So whatever I learned in the college, it was in India. It was completely theoretical. I don't even know when I will be using this integration, differentiation, calculus, or in best things in my final year of engineering. I did my computer science and engineering in the UG. And in my last semester, I guess in 7th semester, I was studying about degree stopping paper. I'm sorry. What was it? Digital signal processing. So, we all call it as DSP, degree stopping paper, because not many people will be able to pass it. But somehow I was this lucky person who got just barely out of it and passed it. But I don't understand where I will be implementing this butterfly diagram or any kind of these things in the real life scenario. So that is one main reason. I still have that question in my mind. So when am I going to implement all these things? And so those are a couple of things that I was thinking about. And finally, coming back to what I have been doing now. In the UK, the way they teach things, it's completely, totally different, and it's all practical. And the good part is whatever I learned there, I'm actually using it in the work as well. So comparatively, when I go to any other, so if we start comparing the differences in the jobs versus in India versus UK, here I personally failed DSA, data structures and algorithms, in my third semester itself in while I was in India. So from that time onwards, I did not touch the DSA at all. So here, no one asks DSA or anything related to that except FANG companies. But I don't care about going into FANG companies because I had a bad experience, and I also have seen a lot of my friends who went into FANG companies. They were saying it's very tough. It's like I mean, like the workload is heavy, etc. But here in this company, I'm currently working with. I don't want to say the name now. So the environment is very good because they are giving me a lot of freedom to do whatever I want. And when I say that I'm going to talk in different conferences, they are allowing me to do it. The pay is great. It's not a startup. It's again an Indian company right now to which I'm working at. And so I just look at the work culture, the salary, and the way the tech stack that I will be working on. I'm working on React.js and Node.js. So no TypeScript or anything that doesn't work out for me. And that is something that they are giving importance. Like as an employee or as an individual, they are making sure that I like what I'm working on, whatever I like or whatever I'm confident at. Apart from these things, the other thing is like since it's an Indian company, they are also like Indians. The communication is also good, and there is a clear difference, like clear balance between work life. So basically, I am a developer, so I don't have a life outside development area. But still, they are like giving the exact times, like 9 to 5, and after the 9 to 5 time, it's all our time. So whatever I'm doing. So right now, even now, I'm doing this during the lunchtime. They don't mind me doing this thing. So these are a couple of things that I have been experiencing in the work culture between India and UK. So that's something which I wanted to say. Was that answering, Ayush? And I'm just looking at the YouTube side of things. Not many people are watching, so I guess we can take some questions from. I want people to be interactive here, but let me enable the chat thing as well, so that yes. So I was expecting people will be going and chatting, putting their messages on that YouTube stream. But yes, in case if you are looking at this, please go ahead and put a small like on the stream. So I have given all my credentials as well, my website and other things. So yeah, feel free to connect with me and we can talk further. Go on, Ayush or Bhavya.
Okay. So first of all, welcome Praveen. A very good evening to one and all present here. So my question is that what biggest career mistake has given you the biggest lesson? Like we all are making some mistakes in the initial stage of our career. So what is your mistake which gives you the lesson or kind of best learning?
No one has escaped this particular question because a lot of people have made a lot of mistakes. I'm not an exception. So even I have made a lot of mistakes. So first thing I would like to say is, as I mentioned, there is this thing when I was telling about the freedom at my work, they are happy to give me the work that I like or I am comfortable with without TypeScript. So TypeScript is one language in the front end side. We will be going through the front end, the full stack web development as well. At that point of time, you will be knowing what exactly I'm trying to say. So this particular language, I have got zero clue about it. So I did not want to. I wanted to learn because the whole front end, developers community is moving towards TypeScript and GraphQL. And also, if I start working on mobile applications, it is going to be, I would be planning to do it on React Native because React is something which I'm expert in. So I thought of like going to React Native. But to learn these two things, you have to learn the whole complete architecture of TypeScript. So what is the best way? Like I'm a crazy person. So what is the best way to learn a language? Write a book on it. So I thought of writing this TypeScript for beginners and React Native myself by learning it and then trying to do it, because as a beginner, I will be able to explain others in such a way that they will understand. That was one of my worst failures in my life because I never finished that book. Both BPB publications and PAC publications are extremely angry on me. Whenever they see me, they are going to kill me. So that's what happened. So that is one of the worst failures I have ever had, and this is one of the worst mistakes I keep telling whenever I get interviewed by any people, like let it be an official interview or like things like this. So these are my failures really. And what did I learn from it? Don't be too over ambitious. You can be ambitious, but don't be too over ambitious. Like programming a rocket launcher using HTML. Yeah, you will definitely fail. I hope that answered.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Cool. So with that being said, I would like to quickly say something like, make sure everyone is interactive here. So go to the stream as well, put some messages there. And coming back to our topic. So the first thing which we will be looking at is the working trends. So post-pandemic, can someone say if the pandemic is really over? Because even now I'm working in this confined jail. So what all the different working trends in 2022, what's happening right now with the post-pandemic. So, and then we will be talking something about the technology trends as well. There are like so many changes coming up in the technology too. And then we have got employment changes, what kind of changes that you are looking from the job providers, employers, then what are all the advantages of job seekers? How many job seekers are here? And we will also have a quick run through about different types of job titles that are going on right now. And while we are talking about the technology trends, we will also look at a couple of like these three topics, which I'm very much interested to talk in detail. So that is, one is full stack web development. We will also talk through a roadmap, and then we will also talk about something related to open source initiatives, all the open source programs, and finally, freelancing, self-employment. How many of you are with me now?
Definitely.
Everyone.
So that is something, these are a couple of things that I wanted to also highlight. Along with that, I saw a lot of people who have given your questions. Great questions, really. But one thing I'm very curious is, should we tell that? Okay, no, it will be very bad. So a lot of people who have actually added questions, they were like, the answers were totally irrelevant. I did not understand why some people were putting my email address on the place, or your email address in that case, when I asked for a resume or a CV. So it is a document, could be a PDF document or a Word document that has got your details. My email, if I look at it, how can I, as a employment provider, will give you a job? I just wanted to make sure that communication is one of the core competencies that is very much required in this, rapidly expanding time and etc. So that is something which I wanted to say. Apart from this, let's directly get into the new working trends right now, and keep your questions as well, like add your questions. And yes, so Kushbu ma'am has also messaged that there is an attendance or feedback link, so don't forget, and you have to finish it when it comes up. So yeah, okay, coming back to this working trends. So the first working trend, so I'm gonna kind of like casually interact with both Ayush and Bhavya. So let us make it as an interactive session, because you three of you are in the main screen. So we three of us are in the main screen, and we want like, the screen share or like the voice share to be equal. I'm always up for equality. It's not only just by talking, but also by doing. So coming to the working trends, I know I did practice something with both of you, but don't think about that. Tell me what all things have changed post-pandemic or like during this pandemic time. And wait, before that, before you tell, I want the students who are all seeing this should say something about what has changed. What could be the latest working trends? I know you are here to learn about these things, but I'm just asking you in case if someone knows it. Okay, whoever knows it, whoever answers this first, maybe I can give some goodies or something like that. That's a cool thing to give away, right? So I do have some goodies.
This is your time to earn a goodie.
Got some ML hits swags to be sent.
Do unmute and ask, answer Praveen's question, please, if you can.
Okay, Chirag actually wins the whole thing, really. So one of the main things I wanted to also talk about was remote jobs or work from home. Any other? Okay, we'll take just 3 answers and then we'll just go into the talk. So any other? Yes, Chirag, you are right. You are perfectly right. remote jobs has been increased. Anything else? Anything? Okay, I'll just give it to both Ayush and Bhavya. Go on, answer this question. So Kanish, yes, you are also correct. Both remote jobs and work from home are almost similar, but yes, I'll give a point to you as well. So don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn so that you will be able to receive something special from me. Okay, go ahead, Bhavya. You were about to say something.
Yeah. So for this, there are many open source contribution also increased during this, because the open source contribution are the that thing which we can do from any place. Digital nomad also increased.
Okay, I know where
after
you are.
Post-pandemic. After post-pandemic. Okay. Digital nomad. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that's a great one.
Startups also increased.
Startups, freelancing. Ayush? Freelancing.
So my answer has been taken by Bhavya. The last moment she spoke about startup. I was about to tell about startup because we are seeing many initiatives. If you just take a simple extension that is going to a next level, next extent, that can also be a startup. My mind was blown at that time. SEMA, that's the latest thing which I'm involved in right now, and they are doing great, and the community is so helping. So I would like to say this, that we are seeing a increase in startup culture, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
And what about this game by Daniel Wordle? It was like sold for like millions of dollars by New York Times. They purchased that. Yeah. So these are a couple of things that are actually happening in front of our eyes. So the main thing which I wanted to talk about is, first thing, as everyone mentioned, work from home. So remote working has made huge demand right now, and obviously the Zoom company has also made a lot of money because of this. Based on this one, employee turnover will also continue to increase when the hybrid and remote work became the norm for the knowledgeable workers. So like people like us, we all like to sit in the comfort of our homes, and we would like to work. So because of that, remote working has got huge. And now also the tools that we used to work remotely, for example, let's take Zoom or the Google suite of things. Like for example, even now our Kushbu ma'am just sent out a link for how should tracking the attendance or something like that, making sure everyone is working at the perfect way or something like that. So the tools that are used for collaboration now, they are also used for measuring and improving the performance as well. And also the complexity of managing such a hybrid workplace will actually drive some employers to require to return to the office as well. But that's understandable thing. And do you know what another seriously cool thing that happened after the pandemic? People started looking into, let me think of something, like, let me give a clue. And this is for anyone who wants to answer. I would like to give a small surprise gift. So this is something new that happened recently, and a lot of big companies have started thinking about this. I'm not sure if I guess even in India, they have started implementing it. It's not about pay rise, but something similar. So what could it be? It's about, go on, tell me about it.
Maybe, I'm not confirmed. Maybe 4-day work culture. Maybe.
Dude, you saw everything, right? Okay, I shouldn't have asked you. Yeah. Sorry about that. So this is one of the hugest.
I think Kanish has also answered in the chat. Kanish has also answered the same thing in the chat, but it's 3 days.
So we'll
I guess it's 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days and 3 days work culture it's becoming a norm in most of the companies, following the mental health of the employees. And Kanish, yes, that's actually a great answer. So people are expected to work only like Monday to Thursday or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which is cool, right? So you would be getting 1 day off during the work, and it gives you a lot of mental peace and pressure. So to compete in the war for knowledge worker talent, some companies will shorten the work week rather than increasing the pay. So it is not about the pay increase, but reducing the workload or something like that. And another thing that has popped up recent times is the diverse job markets. So what happens here is, how many of you are very familiar with this thing called DE&I or D&I, which says diversity, equity and inclusion. How many of you already know about this? Just say yes or no in the chat so that I can quickly understand like how many people will know or like. So what about you, Ayush and Bhavya?
Never heard of it.
Okay, seems like not many people know about it, but Kanish, you are awesome, man. How did you get to know a lot of things? Maybe you should also talk something during this one. And do you know that this is also live in the YouTube? So whoever is talking right now, like just raise your hands. I'm happy to like, allow you to talk, and it's going to be like available to everyone to listen. Oh, wait, I need to also look at the YouTube side of things. There are like so many people are talking here. So there is like just Kirat, hi. Surya, yes, you're right. Work from home, correct. Startup culture is just starting in India. So we are waiting to see how great it is going to become. 4-day work culture is coming up, yes, but it is mostly in the US side and the Silicon Valley side. And I don't know how many people are actually totally like giving a huge welcome to that, like at least in India. I'm not sure. I need to look into that. And since a lot of people said no about DEI, I'm going to quickly explain about what diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the first thing is we are going to get a lot of more diverse kinds of work. For example, so you would be a software developer joining a normal work or something like that. I do understand a lot of people have got 7-day work week. Sorry about that, but not every single career is able to give that flexibility of 3-day work week or 2-day work week. So yes. So coming to the diverse kind of works. So we have already seen people who are working as developers. They are asked to write unit tests. So testing is not our cup of tea, right? Any developer you ask, let it be me or anyone, they are going to hate writing unit tests. But coming back to what different things that people can do, DevRel is becoming a huge hit nowadays, even in India. A lot of companies are hiring people for DevRel. And what Bhavya or Ayush or anyone from the chat, can you tell what would be the starting salary of DevRels in India? I'm talking about the starting salaries for a good DevRel.
I would say 40 lakh per annum.
Sorry?
40 lakh per annum.
40 lakh per annum. That's too much, man.
Because I
3.5 lakhs per annum, but that is what most of the new companies give. But no, that is very less, and what you said is very high. So come on.
I said it because I heard it from Kunal Kushwaha. No.
Okay.
But
he was talking a lot about. He spoke about that yesterday as well. I met him too, and. Okay, I'll give it to Chirag. It's almost like 6 to 8 lakhs per annum in India, and in the UK it is at least 40 lakhs per annum. So kind of you are right, I would say, so Ayush. But yeah, okay. So 6 to 8 lakhs in India and 40 lakhs per annum in the UK. I'm not sure about the US. Maybe it could be a bit higher there. But yes, and a lot of startups are also giving like 10 to 12 lakhs on an average for freshers to start with, which is actually good. Or is it bad in terms like we have got a lot of inflation? And when I was in India, the average dosa price was like 10 rupees per dosa, but now it is like 35 rupees. Happens. So that's inflation. Yes. Okay, so Akhil says that hearing it for the first time, what is that? So developer relations or developer advocacy is a particular role in a company where you would be talking to a lot of community members. So for example, let's say I'm working for this huge bank and we are doing a lot of awesome things here. And the bank has got no way to, disclose anything what they are doing. Obviously the bank will either kill me or they will run out of business. But at the same time, there are a couple of things that the banking institute or something like that, they can do for the community. For example, like Bhavya said, you can invest something in the open source world by asking your developers. See, everything, time is money, correct? So the bank can ask the bank developers who are working in crucial projects to see, oh, wow, you have done something really, really good. Why don't you tell the world about this? So they can put some kind of code which are open source to the bigger community, so that two things can happen. One, the bank will also get famous. Second thing, people around in the open source community, or people like you all, yeah, you will also be having some kind of like ideas, or no, you will be able to find there is a problem here, you have a solution or something like that, and that is going to benefit the bank as well. So even though it is a financial institute, it's a bank, they are already investing a lot of time and effort and money in the open source side of things. So these are the things are done by DevRel community, and the DevRel or developer relations or developer advocate. The role is developer advocacy, etc. So this is about the DevRel role. So I hope, Akhil, you got an idea about what DevRel is. And eligibility of a DevRel and tech stack is like you need to know basically you need to know what you are doing, and then obviously you should have a good. You don't need to have a good face, but you need to have the way of talking, making sure the whole. I'm just an upcoming DevRel, so I don't know whether I'm eligible DevRel even now. So that's why I'm like kind of stammering whether how to answer this question or something like that. A good DevRel should be like, let's say, Eddie Jodi or Kunal Kushwaga, because both of them are like, they have got a mass of people following them, and they believe like they have got the right things to say, which gets the crowd. So that's one of the core qualities of DevRel. So you should have a fan following. And second, I'm not sure. I'm not a DevRel. So, and secondly, the main thing I would say is if you are trying to explain a concept, for example, let's take this very basic concept of AJAX calls. So everyone would have used the instant messaging service, or a lot of people would have used almost all these web applications right now. They are all very, very instantaneous, and you get the screens changed, like the content, the view is changing very quickly, right? So what exactly happens here is a concept called as AJAX. It's not a concept, it's a combination of multiple tools or multiple technologies, which is asynchronous JavaScript and as XML. So in the browser, if you see some kind of like moving object in the sense, when there is a small part of text is changing automatically based on our user interaction. So for example, you type hi and press enter. So in the DOM, without refreshing the page, it starts, right? That is done through AJAX. So what exactly AJAX? So how can you explain this to a 5-year-old kid? So you can say, hey kid, there are like 4 people playing basketball or cricket on the street, and one of them puts a stone or puts a ball on your house window and then breaks the window. So the glass is broken. Would you demolish the whole house and then rebuild the whole house because of the broken window, or you will just buy a new window and replace the broken window? The obvious answer will be replacing the broken window, not demolishing the whole house and rebuilding it, right? So it is the same thing that happens with HTML, correct? Whenever any change needs to happen, you need to refresh the whole page. Without refreshing the whole page, you are just replacing one part. That's AJAX for everyone. So excellent. So how was the story? Like, how did anyone who do not know AJAX, did you get an idea about what AJAX is or something like that? So this kind of like a way of storytelling is very important in DevRels, I would say. So that's something which I wanted to say. And coming to the next thing, so people are actually going into the DevRel side of things as well. So that is one more thing what software developers can do. So this is the diversity in the job markets, and also employees as us, we are also expecting a lot of things from the employers. It's not just about, okay, I want this much salary or like that. But if you consider me, any recruiters who are looking at it, you can actually take it in writing as well. So anyone who is going to ask me work on Java, and even if they pay me like 1 crore per hour, I won't take it. I'll just turn down the offer. The reason is I don't like Java. I don't want to work with static type languages. So this is some kind of like a basic. Some people like something, some people don't like something. So I don't like Java or any of the static type languages or object-oriented programming is also okay, but static type, I hate it. So I love duck typing because from the initial stages, I was working with PHP and MySQL. So PHP is a duck type language. JavaScript is again a duck type language. So it doesn't have enforced static typing here. So that kind of like flexibility is also expected from the developer community to the employers. And again, the other thing that comes is the fairness and equity will be defining issues for organizations. If big organizations are kind of like trying to get new employees, like going on a career drive or something like that, people are looking at like how are you recruiting? Are you recruiting all boys, all girls, or like you're giving the equal share between the gender gap, etc.? Are you considering about the gender gap? Then are you considering about the environmental aspects? I'll come to that later. So these are a couple of things that are very much looked upon by the people who are looking for jobs. So maybe you can also demand something. And coming to AI and automation. Now, whatever you are going to do today, it is kind of tied with automation. Basic example, something that you are doing every single day, which has got a huge AI behind it. What is it? I want a quick answer right now for this.
Like we have AI right now, we are using Zoom.
Zoom doesn't have any AI. You lost it.
The algorithm I'm talking about.
No AI in Zoom.
All the smart devices, you can say. Every smart device is working on AI.
Correct, kind of something very basic. Even my dad can understand. What could it be? Okay, Bhavya. Something that uses extremely huge AI, which you are using it daily. This is very basic question. Netflix Pixie adjustment. Hey, too much da Kanishk. Anyone else?
Amazon recommendation. Algorithm.
There you go, Divya Vashishta. Talk to me. Like after this thing, I want to give you something really cool, but not exactly Google Assistant. Google is something like whatever you want to do, go to the computer, just type in Google. Google is one of the most massive AI in the whole universe, I would say, or maybe whole galaxy as well. YouTube, you can kind of tell, but Google is the right answer I was like looking at, because people are directly like for anything and everything, people are abusing Google. That's one of the huge underrated AI, I would say. So it's not just about the suggestion, but if you try typing something, it will give you like literally everything that you need to, like, for example, I'm in the UK right now. I want to go to Chennai to meet my dad. So go to Chennai or like travel to Chennai. If I just put that, it will show me everything that I need in the same page in the organized way. So booking tickets, cheap tickets, flight tickets, and hotels nearby, maps going from here to there, every single damn thing is there in the page, right? So that's one of the massive AIs. And since no one said about that, that's what I was saying, like it is completely underrated and no one is thinking about when someone says, so it became so involved with us, we don't even see that, oh, there is a big AI mission working behind it. What happens if Google is not there for one day? Can't imagine the lives of people. So at least most of the people, they're completely reliant on Google services or these particular services. For example, in simple terms, let's take London. London is one of the busiest cities here. I guess I recently studied this one. So London is the most busiest metropolitan. The next comes Chennai, which is kind of like weird or interesting. I don't know whether that article was written for me and sent to me. I saw it because of Google, but right. So number one metropolitan is one of the busiest metropolitan is London, then Chennai. Then obviously we cannot deny that there is Bangalore, there is Mumbai, etc. I don't know how much technology penetration has happened in India, but in London, in case if Google services or Apple's map services, any of these map services are gone, there will be a complete wreck, because we don't know what time the train comes, what route we should be taking. Every single action will be like, no one knows here about the addresses, like how our autowalas, like, if you want to ask, there was this Talaivars movie as well. So if you want to know any nook and corner, an autowala will know the direction, how to go or something like that. Any Rajinikanth fans here? Okay, fine. So like that being said, you cannot expect any of the Londoners to know any addresses. Everyone like opens up Apple Maps or Google Maps, they will take care of everything. So that's how it is going on here. So to that level, we have become dependent on these AI automation things. And not only here, but also many companies are taking up this AI and automation to put the managerial tasks, and the managers who are no pressure of doing all these managerial tasks, they are concentrating on building the human relationship and other things. So that is something which is happening right now. And I already talked about inclusion and diversity, where if there are more diverse kinds of work. So as a developer, you are also working on DevRel works. You're also working on writing unit test codes. Sometimes you're also managing the whole team by becoming a scrum master for one day or something like that. This is what we do in most of the agile methodology areas, wherever the project takes up agile methodology. If let's say myself, Ayush and Bhavya are in a team, one day I'll become the scrum master, one day Ayush becomes the scrum master, one day Bhavya becomes the scrum master. So something like that happens. So coming to those things, we do diverse kind of works, and obviously the gender gap is coming to a close to nothing. And also inclusion will also become a norm right now. So it doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. It doesn't matter if you are a boy or a girl or any other gender that you identify yourself as. It doesn't matter if your thoughts, like if you are a person who is an arrogant person or a soft person, it doesn't matter. Everyone gets the job. That's the inclusion which I was talking about. And finally, coming to this environmental focus, a lot of companies are now striving to reduce the carbon footprints. One of the companies that interviewed me, like I had to go attend a job interview. They were looking to reduce the methane impact, and they are doing that for the full time. And they want people like us who are good in Python for analyzing the data from the cattle and all the other animals that are producing the methane. So a lot of diverse jobs are coming that are mainly into the climatic control, looking into the environmental focused works. So these are a couple of things which have actually started working on. So how many of you learned all these things for the first time right now? So this is what I wanted to tell in the working trends. What are all the different employment trends that happen? Then we have got a lot of technology trends that we can talk about. Then we will talk about the employment changes. What are all the advantages for you as a job seeker and the different job titles? I'm open for questions for a couple of minutes. We can take up some questions, and I'm going to quickly look at the YouTube side as well. Abhishek, I don't understand. Is there any more link of this ongoing session? This is going on, right? Is there any problem with the YouTube side of things? Can someone from YouTube say hi? There is also another question from Mukul Singh. How to make good network and contact through social media. So the first thing is, I would say, before sending a request, try to approach. Okay, I could see Aditya saying hi. So seems like the YouTube side of things works fine. Okay, so the first thing is like be compassionate to others. So if you are sending a request on LinkedIn or any other social network for that instance, try to put a small introduction. Where did you meet? Why you want to talk to that person or something like that. Give a small context about yourself. Maybe that person might be interested to talk to you. So that is one thing. And secondly, try to get involved, put your thoughts in a polite way whenever people are talking about something. So that will give you exposure a lot. And what would you answer for this, Bhavya and Ayush? So the question was how to make good network and contact through social media.
So I would like to answer this.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So with the help of LinkedIn, Twitter, we are good to make so many connections, as if we share our learnings in public, so many people recognize it by self. And if we contribute in open source, or we involve in communities, or just if we want to connect someone, like in my first year, I connect with you. So I message you and I ask you something like about Git or GitHub. So it should not be like that. You just message only hi or hello. So with hi, hello, you should put a query or introduction or what you want to learn from that person. Is the right approach to approach someone, not just hi, hello, or how are you thing. That's not works in professional world.
That's a great
I recently read a tweet about it as well. It was like if you are just reaching out to someone through Twitter or LinkedIn, try, decreasing their the message which you are sending them. It utilizes their time as well as your question. Just ask the
Yeah.
question which you are looking forward to. Also, talking about the Twitter and LinkedIn thing, I think the thing which I have learned till now is through networking.
Yeah.
I have been involved in various ambassador programs as well, and it was through networking. So I think LinkedIn and Twitter are the best place to do network. As well as we see Abhishek saying that offline meetups and hackathons. I think they are also the best place to increase networking.
Sorry, go on. I did not. I was actually replying to Kanishak. What
No,
did
no,
you say?
I just said that we saw in the chat that Abhishek is saying about the offline
Exactly.
meetup.
I wish whatever Abhishek said is happening, because what he says is try to go to a lot of offline hackathons and meetups. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic nature, it is just now starting to happen. And even now, when I went to the 2 meetups in this week, I met a lot of people, but not many turned up due to the fact that people are afraid about what's happening around, like if they could get contracted to COVID or any other pandemic, like any other infection or something like that. And they are also very concerned about others, what if they already carry something. And so this is because of this itself, a lot of things are like slowing down. But yes, I wish there are like so many offline hackathons or offline meetups that are safe for people. And Kanika says, how did you become so sure of the technology you are working with right now? How did you decide when you have so many of them? Superb question. I'm going to answer this. And Kanika Gola, please, you are getting something really cool for this as well. So first thing is, at this point, don't take me wrong. Most of the people in your age, like when you are studying your undergraduate engineering, you must not have much of the responsibilities other than finishing the assignments and doing your tests well. Correct? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but most of them will not have any other like responsibilities, like taking care of the family, or you have to be the breadwinner of your family. If that is the case, it's not for you. But for those people who do not have that kind of a responsibilities, try out with everything. Try with Java, try with .NET, try with JavaScript. Try talking to me and challenge me something like a project or something like that. Go talk in YouTube, see your speaking skills, how you are able to speak in front of a lot of people. Try to convince someone to pay you for working on a project that you are happy about. So do whatever you can, but make sure that whatever you are doing, try to put your effort and see if you are able to see if this is something that you like to do and this is something that is sustainable. How many of you heard about this thing called as Ikigai? So there is something that I want to do, work on React.js. There is something that people want people to do. Like, for example, the company wants me to work on React. Okay, second part. Third thing, working in React.js will give the person money. So all these three things are true for me. So I love working with React. The company wants me to work on React. And if I work on React, I get money. So these three things is the perfect blend of things. So I'm happy doing this for my entire life so far. So find something like that. And even if the thing that doesn't give you money, if you like it, follow it. It might help you in some other way. For example, I'm doing this live stream webinar in YouTube. Nothing I get paid. Actually, it might be stressful because I might be working overtime, so compensating all these times, and then which is fine for me. But it's kind of like, I would say it's not a loss, but it's going to be an investment. Investment in the terms, I'm meeting up with more than 85 people right now, which is super cool. And also I get to learn a lot of things from you all, which I take it as my own, like personal learning. It's a selfish motive, you can say, something like that. Okay, so these are a couple of things that I'm learning from these things. So be prepared for doing something like that. And yes, obviously interacting with community, that's what I'm talking about. Based on doing all these things, I came to know that, okay, I love working with languages like JavaScript and PHP, and I want to do my career on that. So Is PHP has any life? No. Web development has life? Yes. Okay, I'll start with front-end development. I joined TCS as a front-end developer, and then I learned a lot of things on the back end as well, and then came out to do my master's. And then when I'm working with the next company, I was saying like I know PHP and MySQL as well. And then there are like multiple competitors for PHP as well. So when you know PHP, that's a server-side language. There is Node.js, there is ASP.NET, there is Java J2EE. Java J2EE, I hate it, so I'm not touching that. So .NET is also a statically typed language. I'm not touching that. Node.js, it is also related to JavaScript. So Node.js and PHP, I tried it. I loved it. Both the things, I'm loving it. So that became my love of my life. That's how I chose what I wanted to work with. And now it's kind of like, solid that I don't want to work on anything else other than JavaScript alone. Now, even PHP, I'm kind of ditching it because there is not much opportunity in that side, but I'm not leaving it. Like I'm not like forgetting it or something like that. So I'm a master in both PHP and JavaScript. So if you ask me how good I am, I'm 30% good in PHP, 70% good in JavaScript. That's how I learned this is the best for me. So thanks a lot for asking this question, Kanika.
Sorry to stop.
Oh, there is another. Sorry?
Just a reminder for students. Just look out for Khushbu ma'am's message in the chat for the feedback form. It is through that form you will be getting attendance, and I will be closing the form after 5 to 10 minutes of when the meet ends. So don't forget to fill the form. Yeah, you can continue.
So coming to YouTube, there are 2 comments, great comments from Abhishek. Don't just message, hi, I want to connect. Explain the thing why it would be beneficial for yourself to connect or themselves as well. This is actually a good suggestion, and very much appreciating this comment. And Manas Gugyal says, can you tell me the difference between scripting language and programming language? Scripting language is one type of programming language. That's what I would say. So if you are very, there is a confusion between resume and CV as well. So I guess they are all used hand in hand, like interchangeably, but they are different. But at the same time, it is not a huge difference that you should be very much aware of it, or it is going to be a showstopper or something. So in terms of scripting language and programming language, maybe scripting, you can say that it is not very huge, or it cannot do things on its own, while programming language, I believe you can do it on your own. Maybe I'm not the right person to answer, but there's Abhishek saying scripting language is used in automation. Yeah, kind of like, even people are saying JavaScript is a scripting language. JavaScript is also a programming language. I don't know who said like that. I wanted to give a punch. Someone was saying like Java is a programming language, JavaScript is a scripting language. Where are you? I want to give a knuckle sandwich for you. So Abhishek also says that programming language used to create a software, and scripting language is used to automate a task performed by that program. Kind of right. Yeah. So maybe we can say that scripting language is like a scope of the scripting language is very smaller, while programming language has a bigger scope. This is something like a decent way I can say. And coming to other questions, Kanishak says, why Web3 developers are getting more pay than a full stack web developer? So what exactly is Web3? What exactly is full stack? What exactly is this Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and full stack, right? So if you see the features and the scope of what a developer can do, you will be able to understand, like if you want 1 samosa, you will be paying 5 rupees. If you want 2 samosas, you will be paying 10 rupees. If you want an extra jalebis with it, you'll be paying 20 rupees. As simple as that. So Web3 has got a lot of things like NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You would be able to integrate it with cryptocurrencies, blockchains, etc. So Web3 provides a lot of things. I actually talked in detail about Web3, Web2, Web 1.0 in a previous live stream. Go check it out. So in simple terms, Web 1.0 is the read-only web, where you would be able to see only, it's like a newspaper. Okay. So you'll be able to read the news every day. That's it. That is Web 1.0. Web 2.0 is something like where you can also make some small interactions. Example is social networks. So social networks is not something like, in simple terms, if you want to compare it with real life. So similar to newspaper, take Web 2.0 as a coffee shop or a library where you can go put your thoughts. You can talk to people, meetups. You can go and talk to meetups and something like that. Web 3.0 is like the whole world. You can get a job, you can pay for services, you can get paid by doing something, you can start a shop, like literally. So for example, in simple terms, a lot of people are in Fiverr, Upwork, freelancer.com. Anything else you would like to say? Something like that. So you can directly, you don't need to set up a big company, big stuff like that. Just go to freelancer.com, enter my name, Praveen Kumar, my PAN card. This is my PAN card. This is the copy this is a copy of a document that I am the person I am. And then that's it. Your shop is open. You can immediately earn things. So that is in the world, right? Like in the world, you are able to do these things. All these things combined as the Web 3.0. I'm not saying that a Fiverr or what do you call this? Freelancer.com or Upwork is included in Web 3.0, but I'm saying the easiness of where you can start a shop directly, like quickly send a payment through WhatsApp. All these things are Web 3.0. That's what I would say. So, oh wow, there is more questions. Till now, I have done web dev for about a year, but now wanted to try out something new. What should I try? Cloud or ML? So if you want to do something really around your interests or something like that, you can go ahead with the cloud side of things, where you would be going for the DevOps and whatever you have done inside your home, like inside your local machine, you can publish it to outside. That is the cloud side of things. And if you want to completely change something but not leave the development area, learn Python. You can do AI, ML, and data science. These three things are extremely popular nowadays. And I guess we need second part of this live stream. How many of you says yes? There are loads of questions to answer. There is like 2 huge sections that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I could see a lot of hands raising up. And let me quickly check the YouTube side of things as well. How OOPS in Java is different from OOPS in JS. JS is not an object-oriented language at all. It's just a fake object-oriented language. You can say that way. To like to run a file, we need supporting files to run it. Okay, yes. How can I invite you to take a webinar in my college as well? Abhishek, I'm always available. So just message me. We'll find a good time and then we'll talk. So you can connect with me on my LinkedIn website. Website has got all the links: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm not in Tinder. That's it. Yeah. Can you please tell me something about Solidity that is used in blockchain? Well, I'm not the right person for talking about Solidity because I have got no idea about Solidity. I worked with only Hyperledger and smart contracts in blockchain. Solidity is something very new. And if there are these 2 people who can answer it, Bhavya or Ayush, no?
No.
Not really.
I don't know about the Web3.
Yeah. Discord is also okay for connecting with me. And Abhishek, would you like to answer that question as well? I mean, like whoever wants to answer it can answer it. And Avnish has got this question: how many challenges are there for artificial intelligence students, and how can they start in the same field? Challenges are many. We can see that. But if you want to go deep in artificial intelligence, yes, basically the roadmap is simple. You start with Python, and then you, I guess something like neural networks and other things. I'm not an AI person, so I don't know much, but there are like loads and loads of things that you can get in artificial intelligence. Yeah, that is something there. Kanishak has got this question: how gate exam affects on the pay of the company? Like I heard that if you get good marks in exams, the pay will increase 10 to 12%. Is that really true? Maybe some companies are looking at it. I never wrote a gate exam in my life, or AAEE, or I guess I wrote AAEE. Yeah, I never wrote a GRE or TOEFL or IELTS or GATE or anything. But now I was studying in the UK, and now I'm working in the UK. So there are companies and colleges that accepts you without any entrance examinations or without a degree. But if that is what you want or something like that, you have to prove your talents in a different way. This is like, you can say this is the alternate ability that you can prove, like instead of going through the traditional college work or something like that. Being invited in a college, I cannot say that you should fail in a college or drop out. Sorry about that. Kushbu ma'am and others will kill me. Upasana ma'am will kill me. So yeah, a quick choice: projects or competitive programming. Am I successful or not? Bhavya or Kshitij?
Yeah,
So yes.
of course.
So if I'm successful, and if you ask me personally, I would say projects, because I have got zero clue about what competitive programming or dynamic programming is. Or maybe I'm already doing competitive programming without knowing that is competitive programming. So I have never formally did anything like competitive programming or leak code or hacker rank. That's what comes when competitive programming is called, right? So no idea about that. So I would choose projects. So if you like projects, go ahead. That what I would suggest you do is, so instead of putting like, I'm a good competitive programmer, I would say, this is a project that I did. Here's a small video of it. This does this, and this is the tech stack I use. And if that is something that I'm interested in, man, I'm going to hire you directly right away. I got the power of hiring because I'm already a vice president of software engineering, right? I do have powers to hire directly people. So I can do that. So try your luck on that. Which cloud I would choose? So first thing is, I would say, as a beginner, GCP, Azure, or AWS. As a beginner, I would blindly say either go with DigitalOcean or AWS, because those two things have got a lot of resources to learn. A lot of people would have said like, okay, this is what is this, and you will be familiar with it. For example, I work with GCP. GCP has got really very powerful cloud computing engines, more than AWS when I was working. So it is completely based on my experience, and I did not understand how to go next. So to that level, it was very complicated, but at the same time, it was very powerful. So in case if you want power, I would definitely suggest go with GCP for the companies. But for a beginner, I would say go with AWS. You cannot outwit what AWS is giving you. Okay, I want to know this. Like, what advice would you like to give to your younger self when you're... Okay, this is a very good question, and I have been trying to create a time machine. Say like, Praveen, don't go for tech. See, ultimately, okay, this is a bad advice. Just don't take it seriously. I'm just telling, like, ultimately, we are going to eat food. So become a cook. That's what I would have said to my younger self when I was in 6 years of age. But to say seriously, I would say like, try out everything. Back in those days when I was in college time, all I was worried is Nataraj pencil better or Apsara pencil is better? Not like Android versus iOS or React versus Angular. So there are like so many options that were available in front of our eyes, but I was not able to get a hand to it because I was just in a lower middle class family. I did not have access to a good internet connection. It was through my phone line, and I did not learn a lot. But had I had a mentor like me before 10 years, when I was a school student or something like that, I would have learned a lot of things. That's what I would say. To my younger self, I would say, Praveen, just go to different universities, try out, like, you know, how 3 Idiots movie worked with this guy, the hero guy, Amir Khan or Vijay. So just do whatever he did. I wish I had seen that movie like long back, and I could have got the freedom to sit in all the different colleges and classes and see what was that I loved really. So that I would have said. Okay, Jaydeep Solania has got this question. If a student wants to make his or her career in the field of DevOps or blockchain or in some other technology, so in that case, DSA is really necessary. I mean, like, personally, I failed DSA in my third semester, which is what I said. After that, I never touched DSA in my life, and no one asked me as well. So to all the companies out here, if you are trying to recruit me and your first question was like a DSA assignment or something like that, I'm going to reject you. So that is something that I don't... generally, the thing is, not many companies have asked other than fan companies. That's the main reason why I said, like, I don't mind turning down an an interview request from a fan company, because the first ever question that they will ask is DSA, and I am pretty sure 100% I'll put my life on it. I'm not going to work on DSA after I join the company. So if that is not required, why am I doing it? So that's my personal thought, and that's the reason I have been like turning down the interview requests in fan companies. I don't know if that answers your question. Personally, I hate DSA. Personally, I hate unit testing, but because of the because of a few things, I'm doing unit testing in my office in most of the work levels I'm working at. But yes, let's see if I can avoid that. So Hemant says, if I want to learn app dev, should I first learn native Android dev or cross-platform? Okay, that's a good question. So if you want to learn, if you want to become an Android developer, you need to know Java or Kotlin. If you want to become a iOS developer, you need to know iOS, C++, Swift, or something like that. If you are bad at all these things, but you know web development, go with hybrid mode like React Native or something like that. Or if you want to try something totally different, go with Flutter or Dart. But what I would say is go with everything, try out each and everything, and see what. See, ultimately, with any of these options, you would be able to get the exact output. So try with all these things, see which one works out for you, and go with that. That's what I would say. Oh wow, there are like so many questions in the live stream as well. So Solidity, I said I'm not sure, I'm not the right person. Abhishek, you can connect with me on Discord. So if you go to my website, the events website, you will be able to find my Discord ID. And smart contract. Okay, so smart contract happens like the similar. There are like so many questions on so many videos on smart contract. So Manas, I would ask you to check out smart contract for learning smart contract. What is a smart contract on YouTube? They will explain better than me. So why Web3 is so hyped? As I said, you one samosa, two samosa, or a samosa with chutney and jalebi. Which one would you prefer? So Web3 is like the third one, which I said. Yeah, most of the questions that you asked are answerable by Google. So I'll try to answer whatever is easier, or reach a blockchain developer. Yeah, I'm not a blockchain specialist, so I would, but listening from the one who has worked on it is more efficient according to me. Yes, Manas, you are right. But at the same time, I have not worked in depth on blockchain and other things. So that's the reason I'm not in a comfortable way to answer it. It's not about the comfort, but I want to answer something that I know and it is right. So if I'm not sure about the answer, I don't want to answer, or I don't want to misguide people. That is the main thing. Yes, Abhishek, you are right. If you shift from, okay, Abhishek has got this question. If you shift from one company to another, what question that the other company asked in that interview? Actually, I'm planning to do an interview series, what companies ask, and during this time. So maybe wait for it. I'm still preparing for that. And maybe we can have mock interviews. So in the Zoom, people, how many of you want to do mock interviews with me to get prepared for companies? Not fan companies, by the way. I have been interviewed by several companies, so I know how the companies are asking and something like that. So I could see a lot of hands raising. So yes. Okay, cool then. Kanika.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there are like so many hands raising. So yes, great. And have you all put a message on the form, the registration? Okay, let me send you the form quickly so that you can add your entries. So those people who want the certificate, they will also get through this. So in case if you haven't answered it, so go ahead, add it here. So you can all lower your hands now, unless and until you have got another question or something. I'm happy to answer that. Thank you, Riya Sharma. Thanks for that feedback. So quickly asking Keshav, Shika. Okay, Shika is down. So Keshav and Avnish, do you have any questions on this? Put your questions down there. And Abhishek, someone translate this for me. Our YouTube PRB has, sir. What does that mean?
I think.
Okay, sorry.
Is it available on YouTube as well?
Which is available on YouTube? Oh, the mock interview thing. Oh, which one?
I think the mock interview.
Mock interview. So mock interview, I'm planning for it. So most probably it will be first available only in YouTube through my channel. So that is what I'm planning. So I'm gonna trial it out with a couple of students, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, maybe if I get 100 likes on this particular video, I will make it available as soon as possible. So the video link is here. So whoever wants to go, wants the mock interview, so can do this. A shameless publicity here. Sorry about that. Okay, come on. So other questions. I guess we are done with a lot of questions, and we have got this second and third sections as well. So if Kushbu ma'am or Upasna ma'am says yes for it, we can do it the same way. So what do you all think? And I would actually ask Kushbu ma'am to talk. I'm sorry, I have made her like a person who is in the with the students as well. So Kushbu ma'am, if you want to talk something, go ahead. I'm not able to hear anything.
Hello.
Hi ma'am. Yes, we are able to hear. Okay, cool. So that is something which I wanted to answer everyone, and let's see other questions as well. Actually, I was saying that I'm interested. Okay, cool. So yes, you would be getting that. Yeah, I'll try to organize all the interviews that I had, and I need to remember all the questions that people asked me. There should be somewhere or somehow I would have noted it down. So I'll make a series out of it. So that's something which I wanted to say. And yes, thanks a lot for coming in. So if you haven't filled in this this registration form and feedback form, which ma'am sent it to all and I sent it to all, so kindly do that. And I'll also reach out to you all for the mock interview thing, which I have already had. And I'm open for the last few questions, or if we want to stop it here. Ayush and Bhavya, stage is yours.
Yeah. So, Ayush, do you want to continue first?
Yeah, Vijay, do we have to say something? Praveen, can we allow her to unmute?
Yeah. I have allowed already. Yeah. Yes, Kushbu ma'am, go for it.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening, all. This was a very wonderful session. So this is time for vote of thanks. On behalf of Computer Science and Engineering, AI and IoT Department, I, Khushbu Saxena, take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this expert talk on career trends in information technology. At the outset, I thank our chief guest, Mr. Praveen Kumar Purushothaman. We are really entitled with your knowledge and presence, sir. A special thanks to our head of department, Dr. Upasna Pandey, all faculty members and organizing team members, and for their effort and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to dear students for their active participation. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's session. Lastly, I thank you all once again. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thanks everyone for having me here. And as usual, when I end the session, I'm going to say the same thing. Stay home, stay safe, take care of your health. Health comes first. I recently got admitted in the hospital and I know how it felt. So please don't take your health for granted, take your body for granted. You have to give the best for you, because that's what is going to take you till your end. And stay home, stay safe. Connect with me on LinkedIn and other places. I'm happy to chat with everyone. Yes, Ayush, go ahead. I would just leave it to you now.
I just wanted to confirm that if I just stop the recording, I will get it right away, right?
Later. Yeah. Sure. So anything else would you like to ask? Oh, okay. So thanks everyone for coming in. Put your feedback, connect with me, subscribe to my channel. That will motivate me to do a lot of things. Thanks a lot for coming in, spending your time, and see you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.